The second she don't, or even you fear that she will not obey you, you beat the hell of her.
And you don't like people to deal with them harshly or in a violent way. So this is the general trend.
This is general, okay.
However,
However,
what goes behind closed doors is something that only the man and his wife are capable of handling. There should be no outside interference, because whenever there is interference from the families, things go south. Also, the Prophet ﷺ told the companions that a lot of women visited my wives and complained to them of their husbands beating them. By Allah, they are not from among the best of you.
did you just hear what he said? The women who complain about their husband beating them, by Allah, they are not the best of you, they are the worst. Why? Because they complain that the husband is beating them. But you just said in the beginning, you should be fine, kind to the women. And now you are saying that the woman, she complained from beating her by her husband. For sure, she is a bad woman. So, in Islam, even the right to complain after the man, he beat the hell of you, is taken away from you, because now any woman, she will not complain, because if she do that, the Prophet said that the woman who complain because her husband beat her, she is a bad woman. Another way, he's saying she is a whore. She have no right even to complain, and for sure that means she have no right to call the police, because the police will say to her, well, he's your husband, he have the right to beat you. If the neighbor is the one who beat you, we can arrest him. But as long as your husband, well, he have the right to beat the hell of you. So here we see how Islam legally, as Zakir Naik says, treat women equally, to the point the women, she can't even complain about her husband beating her.
And complain to them of their husbands. A lot of women visited my wives and complained to them of their husbands beating them. By Allah, they are not from among the best of you.
See?
Meaning these men who beat their wives are not among the righteous.
Look at this idiot. The hadith is the opposite. He says, by Allah, that those women who complain are not the best of you. He make it about the men. Do you see the coward? Unbelievable. Let us go to the hadith and laugh together. Hold on, let me find the hadith. You see, because in Arabic the language is very clear. Actually, this hadith he is quoting, this potato, is the reason for the verse in the Quran to come and to beat women. So how he's saying that if the man, he beat his wife, he is the bad? Let us see. Let's go to this one. And let us see this hadith. It says here that the Messenger of Allah is saying, don't be God's handmaids. But when Umar came to God Messenger, to Allah Messenger, he said, the women have become blonde toward their husband. So he gave a license to beat them. Then many women went around God Messenger family complaining to their husband. And he said many women have gone around Muhammad family complaining of their husbands. And then he said, those are not the best among you. He was speaking about the women because he is the one who gave license to beat the women. Because what this guy he just said is the opposite from what the license said. The license said, beat your wives. What happened now? Women are complaining. So if the men, they are practicing the license Muhammad he gave them, why they are the worst? So you see here, he tried to change the meaning of the story when the story is so clear. It's about Muhammad giving a license to beat the women, and those who they are complaining they are the bad. Let me show you here, just to show you how we can make it clear. Many women have gone around Muhammad family complaining of their husband. Those who do so, that is, who take to beating their wife, are not they are not the best among you. This is the translation of this report here. Look what the translation is saying. Those who do so, do what? Complaining. And then here continue, he's saying, those who take to beating their wives are not the best among you, but this is not in Arabic. In Arabic it says, يشكون أزواجهن ليس أولئك بخيركم. Those who complain about their husband, they are not the best of you. Now here we need to ask the question, if the man, let us say for the sake of argument, if the man who beat his wife is not the best of you, so why Muhammad gave them the license to beat them then? You see, this is why the translation and the fabrication is amazing, how they try to cover the stupidity of this cult. You just gave them license to beat them. It's like, you know, the government, they gave me a license to carry a gun, and then the government, they says those who carry guns are the worst of you, but you are the one who told me you can carry a gun. So obviously the story is the opposite. Let us hear more from this idiot so we can see what more he would add.
The pious, those who are God-fearing. And this is a strong warning from the Prophet ﷺ. Now, when we judge things, we don't as Muslims refer to the United Nations. We don't refer to the Geneva Convention. We don't refer to man-made laws made by the disbelievers and the kafirs. We refer to the Quran and the Sunnah. So if you go to verse 34, chapter 4, I'm giving you the reference. وَاللَّاتِ تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنْ. Those whom you fear their disobedience, their rebellion. What to do with them, the women?
What to do?
Then you should advise them. You should give them counseling. You should remind them of Allah, of how bad this is, how sinful it is, and that they are doing something that Allah does not love. فَعِظُوهُنَّ. If this doesn't work, وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Then you have to abandon them, but this is only regards of intimacy. So you sleep with her on the same bed, but you don't have any intimacy. You don't hug her, you don't kiss her, you don't have any hanky-panky.
Yeah, give her a face, hanky-panky.
And this goes on like the issue of advising her for a while, not for a day or two, or for a moment or two, maybe for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of advising, didn't work, then abandon, being intimate with her for 3-4 weeks. This doesn't work. Then the last and third and final resort is to beat them. So Allah doesn't say bring a baseball bat to beat them up with it.
We beat them with what?
Ibn Abbas, when who is one of the great interpreters of the Quran, was asked how to beat them, he said, with this. You see this twig?
Yeah.
If I beat myself with it, I'm not going to be affected. He said.
Here you see the deception, you see. The miswak is a long root. This guy is holding little brush for his teeth and he say, this is how we beat them. Who is a stupid here? I mean, who is going to believe this garbage? So you are beating her now as a last solution, and this is beaten by a toothbrush? Are you tickling her or you are beating her? You see the stupidity? Someone saying that the daughter of Bill Gates, she married a Muslim. Well, they are atheists. And for him, he married an atheist. And so, like, what a big deal? Is she, like, different a human being? This is the miswak. Let me show it to you on the screen so everybody will laugh about what this guy is saying. Look what he is talking about. This is what you beat the women with. And this is after they cut it pieces and they make it small. Let us put it in the screen. Do you see it? It's a long root, very flexible. They beat the camel with it. It's like even way more harmful than a belt. He took something from his pocket, a small little tiny piece of this, and he said, we beat her with that. But in fact, at that time, the Muslims, they carried the whole stick in their hand, and they beat their animals with it. In the same time, they put the end of it in their mouth, which is very dirty, and they chew it. Because remember, the penalty is it's a penalty, it's not a reward. You are beating the woman so she might obey you. Well, if you gave her a toothbrush tickling, that is not even a beating. You are fooling who? And now because it became expensive, all the Muslims, they want to do what Muhammad used to do, so they cut it pieces and they set it. But this is not what Ibn Abbas was holding in his hand, you coward. The miswak is a very long root. It's a root. It's not even a branch of a tree. It is a root. They have to dig in the ground in order to get it. They dig in the ground. And then they get the root, and all of us, we knew how root is flexible. But at the same time, it's hard. And you can tell, I mean, you can see the structure of this wood. So they lie and they say, oh, this is not really a big deal. This is what they beat the wife with. You see this Abdul is selling them? You see the stick? This is the stick he took from his pocket. Look how small it is. I mean, cowardness, lying, deception is the business of Islam. Brother, it is this, you beat her with this. With this, brother. With this. And do you think really people will believe your stupid lie? And remember, the purpose of this beating is to force the women to obey you. But if you beat her with toothbrush, she will never... I mean, what's the point of this beating then? Listen, he said this is the last solution. When you hear the last solution, that means it's something very bad. Well, if you beat a woman with toothbrush, she will like it. Maybe even she might get excited. Imagine this Abdul coming to the bedroom of his wife and he have a toothbrush in his hand. To do what? To beat his wife. Look at the branch, how long it is. Do you see it? Do you see how the roots and the branch? And now actually even they are using the branches, not only the roots. Do you see how short it is? While he took something from his pocket and say, we beat her with this. Let us go and get them busted from their prophet story. A woman, she come to Muhammad. And her husband, he did beat her until her skin became greener than her clothing. The guy, he just said to us, we beat them with the toothstick, and very short thing. Read carefully. Rif'a divorced his wife, whereupon Abdul Rahman ibn etc. blah blah blah, he married her. So this is a woman, she got divorced. And she got divorced 3 times. And according to Islam, if you divorce your wife 3 times, she can't go back to you unless she go and F a new husband. If, not marry only. She have to do nikah, not only marry. So this woman, she married another husband, hoping that she will make him divorce her, obviously, by not sleeping with him, so she can go back to her husband. But look what happened. This guy, he started beating her, and this woman, she was the lady, Aisha, she said, the lady wearing a green veil, and complained to Aisha of her husband and showed her a green spot in her skin caused by beating. So what the Muslim used to use? They use something will cause a green spot on the skin. Is that a toothbrush he took from his pocket? Let us go back to the toothbrush. You beat her with what, brother?
I'm not gonna be a
Show us again, show us. This is what he was beating her with. So the greenest spot was caused by this. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. Brother, do you see he beat her with what? I mean, come on. Do you see, brother? This has caused nothing, caused no harm. Okay? So how come the husband, he did beat his wife in the time of your prophet, and he made her skin greener than her veil? And not only that, you see, if the guy, he did beat her and he made her skin greener than her veil, and Muhammad, he said to him, shame on you, then he's right. This guy right. But Muhammad, he took the side of the man. He did not even question the man why there is a green spot in her skin. We can read the whole story. So it's caused by beating. Okay, and then it says, it was the habit of ladies to support each other. So when Allah Messenger came, Aisha, she said, I have not seen any women suffering as much as I believe in women. So Aisha, she is witnessing that Muslim women they have the most horrible life ever. No women suffer as much as I believe in women. Who is saying that? Not a Christian Prince. So if a Christian Prince says Muslim women, they have the most horrible, miserable life, he's not lying. because he is just saying what Aisha she was saying, and Aisha she is a first-hand witness, and she is almost God for the Muhammadan. And for sure, not because they respect her, but because she is the sex toy of Muhammad. I have not seen any women suffering as much as a believing woman, which means this is the case for all Muslim women. And this is confirmed the other hadith where Muhammad says that the worst of you is those who complain about their husband beating them. And here we go. A woman, she is coming to Muhammad to complain about her husband beating her. Did Muhammad say to her, you know, like, you are right and shame on you, the man? No, he took her side. Look, Aisha, she said, look, her skin is greener than her clothes. So it's not only just a spot, it's so deep green. This is how harsh the beating was. When Abdul Rahman, this is the husband, heard that his wife came to the Prophet, again to the Prophet, he came with his 2 sons from another wife. And she said, by Allah, I have done no wrong to him, but he is impotent, like Muhammad. And he is useless for me, like this, holding her dress, which means he cannot sleep with her. Abu Abdul Rahman, he said, by Allah, she had told a lie. I'm very strong and I can satisfy her, but she is disobedient and want to go back to Rif'ah. We will go back to disobedient. Okay, let us say for the sake of argument, this woman, she's lying. The woman, she don't want to sleep with you. What is the solution in Islam? Beat her and rape her. Because that's what Muhammad will say to her now. Allah Messenger said to her, if this is your intention, then you know that it's unlawful for you to remarry Rif'ah unless Abu Abdul Rahman, he do bang bang with you. By the way, the translation is absolutely false. Muhammad, he did not say unless he have a sexual intercourse. He said unless he taste your juice. Unless he taste the water of your vagina. I can go right now to the dictionary and you will see, I showed it before in the previous video, you can watch it. Usayla is the orgasm. The orgasm. So the woman, she is beaten now. She, you know, she's the man, he did beat her. The woman, she is coming to Muhammad. Her skin is greener than her clothes. Did Muhammad say anything about why you did beat her? No. Did Muhammad he say why her skin is greener than her clothes? No. Did Muhammad say shame on you? No. Muhammad now is schooling her. If this is your intention, you are wrong. He have to rape you. He got to rape you. You cannot go back to your previous husband unless this man he rape you. What kind of a justification will be for such a thing? And then he said, the Prophet then he saw the man, they saw the 2 boys of Abdul Rahman and asked him, are those your sons? Abdul Rahman, he said, yes. The Prophet, he said, you claim what you claim, speaking to the women, i.e. that he is impotent. By Allah, those boys resemble him as a crow, resemble a crow. But look at this stupidity. Maybe the man now he cannot do it. And obviously the women, she don't want him. Secondly, why a woman she wanna go sleep with the man he's beating her? Number 3, what is justice? Why you are forcing the women against her will to go and sleep with the women? Obviously he is bad. So here you see Muhammad saying that you beat your wife to force her to go to bed. You beat her into when? You beat her into her skin is greener than your clothes. Muhammad, he did not say one word about the man. Why you cause those marks? He didn't say, I said to you, beat her with the toothbrush. What is this? Okay, no problem. You want to sleep with her. And okay, I will speak to her. But why you did beat her until you made her skin greener? Muhammad never complained. He took the side of the man and he say, if this is your intention to go back to your previous husband, you should know that you cannot do that unless he tastes your orgasm. In different hadith, until you taste his orgasm and he tastes your orgasm. The Muslim, they translate that as sexual intercourse. Well, for sure it is sexual intercourse, but why you are changing the words? You see here in the same story, they put it there, taste your sweetness, and you taste his sweetness. But this is false translation too. Taste your orgasm. What sweetness? And why they are putting the word sexual intercourse when Muhammad is speaking about tasting your orgasm, which means you have really to do your job and make him happy in the bed. Do you see it? This is why it's very important when you want to talk about Islam to know Arabic, because their translation is always a fabrication. How in the world tasting your juice became consummate his marriage with you? This is your taste your juice? Look here, translation. Unless and until you enjoy the sexual relationship with him and he enjoyed the sexual relationship with you. What kind of justice does justice is? So you want to go back to your husband? Okay, no problem. Well, you have to F this guy and he have to F you until he enjoy you. And you have to be sure to give him a good orgasm. After he finish, you can go back to the other husband. And this is, by the way, a rule proving again that Muhammad, he abused women in extreme filthy way. Because why, if a man, he divorced his wife 3 times, you punish the women, not the man? And why you allowed divorce to be so easy if you are against it? What about saying that the man who divorced his wife 3 times, somebody have to F him? Not to F the women. Because she is not the one who did it. Stupidity is beyond imagination. This is chapter 2, verse number 230. It's unlawful for you, if your husband divorced you 3 times, to take you back unless you go and F a new husband. And if you don't F him good, the other husband will beat you until your skin became greener. And this is the only way to go back to your children from the previous husband. Because obviously this woman, she don't care really to go to the husband, but most likely she have a bunch of, boys and girls waiting for her at home. She's forced to marry this guy. And you can tell from the story, most likely maybe, that she is lying. Which means the filthy Muhammad and the filthy God of Muhammad, if he exists, he forced this poor woman, who she is a victim of divorce. She is not the one who divorced the husband. So the man, he divorced the wife, and then you punish the wife, saying to her you can't go back to the husband unless somebody else F you. And the Quran go far in the abuse of women. To the point, the woman is a goat. If you go in the Quran, you will see chapter 38, verse number 23, speaking supposedly about David, who is supposedly a prophet of Allah. He speak about his wives, saying that I have 99 goats. Do you see it, Muslims? I have what? 99 goats. Question to Muslims. Why the Quran describe the wives of David as goats? Any Muslim can tell us why? If we go and read the interpretation, the Muslim, they will tell you why those women are called goat. Let's read the interpretation. What happened to this website? Is not working. Here we go. The official government website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Why the women, the wives of David and the women in Islam, they are goat? If I read for you, you will not believe what you will see. Let us see here. Oh boy. Yeah, there is something wrong in this website. Hold on. Give me a second. Actually, this is the interpretation of the verse before it. Hold on, yeah. The verse after it. Okay. This is verse 24. Let us go to the verse 23. All right. And now, okay. People, I will put in front of you a reference. I want you to read carefully, and I want the Muslim to challenge me. I want the Muslims to make videos exposing my lies, proving that this is not true. This is the interpretation of Al-Qurtubi. He said that the Arab, let's put it in the screen, give me a second. The Arab, they call women goats or sheep. Okay. And here he continue. He says, and she can be called a cow or a female camel, because all of them will ride them. So why the women, they are called goat or a cow or a camel? Because all of those will ride, including women. Can you believe that this is a religion like this? Translate to English, maybe Christian Prince is lying. Okay. The Arab, they refer to women as a goat because, and this translation is stupid here, because we ride the markub, you know, The same as the camel, the same as the cow. Al-Baqarah. I mean, I don't know, Google is stupid to translate the word Baqarah as the word Baqarah. Translate it as cow. So, because we ride them, all of them we ride. Maybe if we open Google Translation and copy, text alone will work better. Let's see. Google Translate. All right. Let us copy the text as it is. All right, we go here. And then we go to Google Translation. Let's zoom in. Do you see here? The translation came different. Because all of them, every one of those, we write them. So the women, we can call her a cow. We can call her a female camel. Because each one of those, the cow, the goat, the camel, we ride them. And now let's think about it. Let us say, for the sake of argument, the Arab, they use those terms and they are rude. So why Allah is using them? Secondly, you stupid. What do you mean the Arab? This is David. Do you see the stupidity? What do you mean the Arab? They say that. This is David is talking supposedly. Since when David is an Arab? So those people, when they speak about women, they do their best to put some makeup on the face of Islam to make it look nicer. But in reality is, Islam is the most ugly place for a woman to be. Like one of you mentioned that the daughter of Bill Gates, she married a Muslim. Do this guy dare to practice Islam on her? He will never dare. He will be like a potato next to her. She will be riding him. He will not be riding her. Can he beat her? Can he jail her in her room? Do he dare? So what kind of Islam he is going to practice with her? He will not practice Islam. He will not dare to practice Islam. But if she is his wife and live in the Middle East, and she is nobody care for her, he will ride her, he will beat her, he will humiliate her, he will abuse her. I mean, this is his right. Actually, I always ask myself, why in the world any woman, she want to marry somebody, believe that she is a goat? Unless she is one. To marry a Muslim man who believes that you are a goat and equal to a goat, well, then you are what he is saying, because you accept the terms and the conditions. Right? Actually, Muhammad, he go way more far in his ugliness against women. Muhammad, he consider every woman is a devil. So when you marry a Muslim, you are marrying somebody believe that you are an image of the devil. Am I making things up? Read it. This is their prophet, and this is a very authentic report, which means Muslims, they have no question if this is true or not. Muhammad, he was sitting outside with his friends. He saw a woman. Look how decent the man. You see, a man, he is married and he have tons of wives and tons of sex slaves. A woman walk by, he gets so horny, he leave his friends to go F his wife. And his wife, she is tanning leather. In case you do not know how hard this job is, you know, you have to boil water, add color, put the leather, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of work. And Muhammad is just drinking his tea outside or whatever drinking. He's drinking ginger. He promised the Muslim in heaven you have a ginger with the wine, which is very weird. So, just because the Arab, this is what they use for drinking, Muhammad, he promised them, he said, don't worry, you will have it in heaven too. So he saw a woman walking by. He came to his wife Zainab, and she was tanning leather, and he had sexual intercourse with her. Then he went to his companion. Look at this filthy. He just went there just to do boom boom. It's like a mule. And then he said to his companion, who he left them, because now he given one excuse why he left. Well, the guy, his penis is in trouble. He's a decent man. He's keep looking at the women in a sexual way, obviously, because why, if a woman, she walk by, you get horny, unless you are looking and thinking about her in a sexual way, correct? I mean, all of us, we go on the street. Do we get horny just because we see a woman in the street? Are we animals? Are we horses? Are we donkeys? We're human. The woman, she did not do anything. She is not wearing bikini. This is a Muslim woman walking by, and she is wearing a burqa. And now Muhammad, he keep looking most likely at her ass, and her ass is like the antenna of sex for him. So he got horny, he go to his wife. And then he said, after he came back, the woman advances and retires in the shape of a devil. But the woman, she did nothing. But look what he said. The woman, she advances and she retire. So it doesn't matter what you do if you are a female. Just walk by, you are the devil. You go back home, you are the devil. You come from home, you are the devil. But then if you go and ask those sheikhs, they will say Islam respect women. You see, he's not talking about a specific woman. He says women. إن المرأة تدبر في صورة الشيطان تقبل في صورة الشيطان and وتدبر في صورة. She come in the image of Shaitan and she live in the image of Shaitan. So why in the world any woman she want to marry a Muslim? And by the way, if you are a Christian woman, you can't marry a Muslim. This is not marriage. This is a boyfriend. Maybe you can register him in the court, you know, this is civil court, but marrying, this is not marriage. You see, the word marriage is a religious word, and religious word have to be practiced between people who believe in the same belief. So, in order for me to marry a woman, and I claim to be Christian, I have to marry a woman, she is a Christian. Otherwise, this is not marriage. Because marriage, you know what the Bible says, what God unite, no man can divide, right? So the marriage is done under the name of the Lord, not under the name of the pen of the court. And we don't have the same Lord to bless our marriage. While Jesus, he ordered the man, he said, okay, you will be the Lord of the house, you are the master of the house, no problem. But you will be the same as a Christ. He gave himself to the church. So the Messiah, he made the women equal to the church, which means the duty of the man is to give himself to his house, to his wife, is to be a servant of the house, even though he is the master. This is why you see Jesus himself, he washed the feet of his own disciples. And he said to them, if you don't do that, you don't belong to me. So The master of the house in Christianity is not the same as the master of the house in Islam. A master of a house in Christianity is a man who loves his wife, take care of her, not a man who beat her. The second you are beating your wife, you are breaking the command of God, where Jesus, he said, the same as the Messiah gave himself to the church, you give yourself to your women. And we know how extreme that is. This is extreme love to the point you go to the cross. You die in the cross for the sake of somebody you love. In Islam, there's no love in marriage. Actually, we can't even quote marriage. Even the whole Quran keep talking about the word nikah. And we showed you 1,000 times that the nikah does not mean marriage. Even the Muslim, they say, oh, no, it is. Actually, there's Abdul, he made a video before saying, I will show you the word nikah in the Arabic Bible. And then they show a page of a translation. I check it in the website, it doesn't show that, but maybe in the original translation it says that. But this is a translation. It's not even done by an Arab Christian. It's done by somebody from Germany who's supposed to speak Arabic. He uses Islamic terms that we don't use such a filthy word. If Islam actually give any respect to women, then we should have even the same equal, reward in heaven. Like you see, the guy, he says, we are equal in heaven. How we are equal? The man, he will have a lot of women. Even women in heaven, they will be jailed. They will be literally jailed. Let us see what the Quran is saying. You go to heaven? What kind of heaven this heaven is? You will be restrained in your tent. Do you see it? This is chapter 55, verse number 72. And no man can see you, and nobody can see you. You will spend your eternity naked in a bedroom. And not only that, the husband, if he is a bad person, he will have 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, which means he have 70 virgins or 72. Each one of them, she have 72 maids. Every maid have 72, they call it like wasifa or helper. And the 72, they have another 72. So if we calculate the numbers, you end like with 5,000 something women. And then Muhammad, he says, with each woman, you will have, just the orgasm will be 70 years. I mean, you can tell the guy he's stuck with the number 70. So if the man he was going to have, let us say, the first 72, they will have 72 made. And then the other 72 made, they are going to have another 72. Actually, we end with what? We end with 300. No, hold on. One more 72. 26,873 women for a bad Muslim. 72 x 72 x 72 x 72. So you will have 26 millions, almost 27 millions. Then if everyone, this is not the whole sex, just the orgasm, is going to be 70 years, so x 70. You have 1,881 years to go back to the first woman you slept with. To make it simple for you, as long as I'm going to sleep with all those women, and then with everyone, the orgasm alone is 70 years. Are you getting my point? So those women, which I'm going to sleep with them, if I sleep with a woman today, let's say woman number 1, in order to sleep with her again, I have to come, she will have her turn back after I have 1,881 years of orgasm. This is just the orgasm alone. This is religion. And not to forget to mention, Muhammad, he claimed that the most people who will go to hell are women. The majority of hellfire is not men, they are women. So Muhammad, he came to the women, he saw a group of women, and he said to them, give me money, give me your ears, give me your jewelries. Why? He said, I saw the majority of you are going to be in hellfire. There will be what? The majority of you, they will be in the hellfire. Okay, how we can fix that? And why women, they will be the majority in hellfire? Which showed you, Muhammad, he believed women are the shaitan. So I saw the majority of hellfire are women, which means this is going to happen. That's it. The majority of women, the majority of hellfire are women. Okay, how we can go to heaven, Prophet? Well, give me your jewelries. Read carefully. Give it charity. Give it charity. For most of you are the fuel of hell. A lowly woman with dark cheek said, oh, why, Messenger of Allah? He said, you complain a lot. A great deal of complaint. You are ungrateful to your husband. Then they started taking off their necklace, earring, rings, throwing them into Bilal garment. Do you see it? Okay, let us say those women are bad. They will go to hell. So now if I give you my ring, I will go to heaven? Do you see the scam? This is what they do. All the scammers, they do. Like even there are some people, they claim to be Christian churches. You see in TV, those scammers. They say to you, call us right now. Receive the blessing of God. Make a donation. Like, hold on. Okay, what? Wait. I mean, he received the blessing of God for doing good, no problem. For helping poor, no problem. But what this is like excitement about, like, if we give it to you, we receive the blessing of God. And okay, now we receive the blessing of God because we gave the nation. Are we going to go to heaven now? In Christianity, you cannot bribe God. Giving donation to Christian prince doesn't make you go into heaven. No? So now those people, they will go to hell. And now just because they gave their earring and their rings and their bracelet, they will go to heaven? Is that how we can fix it? He did not say to them, you have to change. He said to them, give it charity. Stay as you are. They were wrong, supposedly, according to him. But just give me your rings. Give me your bracelet. Give me your earring. And those women, they got scared, they got terrified. Okay, this is the Prophet of Allah is saying to us, you will go to hell. So what we do? He said, give it charity. Right? Well, supporting people who serve Christ in Christianity is not what will grant you to go to heaven. It is just one of the fruits of you being as a Christian. You see, in Christianity with Christ, you know, like there's an argument, you know, between two churches. One they say we are saved because we do, like we have to do good deeds. The other one says no, it's just by the grace. But actually both of them, they are right. Because you have no grace if you don't have a fruit, and if you have no fruit, you have no grace. To make it simple, Jesus said that from their fruit you shall know them. So Jesus, he will not take you to heaven because you made a donation. But he will not take you to heaven if you don't. Because obviously you are fake. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a person who claims to be Christian and he sees somebody dying in front of his house in the cold. He don't want to help this homeless. He's no Christian. But Jesus, he did not say this is the only way to go to heaven. But he says, I was hungry and you feed me. I was with no clothes and you clothed me. I was thirsty, you gave me water. I was hungry, you did. So I was a prisoner, you came to me, you visited me. They said to him, Lord, we never did those things to you. When we did those things to you? He said, when you do it to my brothers, which means the people like you and me, you are doing it to me. So doing the act of a Christian is the fingerprint of Christ, which means your signature as a Christian is doing the act of a Christ. If you don't do it, you are no Christian. So the only proof that you are a true believer is doing what a true believer do. But it's not because you did that you go to heaven. Because I can be fake and give donation, correct? Is it true? There's many, they give donation to churches that just to show off, just to show that they are giving donation, and they go to speak about it, you know, they write a check, they want to show it to everybody. And they are very rich. They put their names in the newspaper. So, helping others is an act of a Christian. It is a fruit of a good tree. So Jesus will know you from your fruits. But those women are giving their earring for what purpose? And how giving your earring and your bracelet is going to take you to heaven? You see, those women, first of all, in the Middle East, and until now actually, we don't have any kind of security. Like in USA, if you get over 65, you have like a retirement, let's say, social security payment, something like that. But there's no such a thing. So the women, their gold, their jewelry, this is all what they have in their life. This is their security. So when this woman, this poor woman, she is given what she owned. This is what her husband, he gave her when he married her as dowry. So she owned it. Muhammad, he just stripped her from everything. If her husband divorced her now, she will get nothing. So why he's asking them to pay? And how in the world he saw that most of people of hellfire are women. So is that will change now? Do you see how the liar, how it works? If you saw already, it was a fake vision or a true vision. The Muslim, they will say to you, Muhammad, don't lie. Okay, so if he saw them in the majority of women, they will go to hell. Well, that means nothing will change. Secondly, don't the Muslim, they say that this is destiny? Do you remember? We played for you the videos about destiny. Do you remember? Who remember? Destiny. So if a man or a woman do something bad according to Islam, it was a destiny. So what this garbage is about? I pay charity, I don't pay charity, it's a destiny. Everything in Islam is a destiny. If a man have sex with a woman, is that a choice he do? Or he does? No. It's a destiny. So why women, they will go to hell if everything is destiny? So Allah, he destined women to go to hell. Read carefully. Muhammad is speaking, saying, verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in which he of necessity must commit. You see it? Allah, He fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in. Okay, hold on. He just said that the man will indulge in. So why Muhammad did not say most of people of hellfire are men? You see, men usually is the one who kill. Men usually is the one who do women abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, rape, child molestation like Muhammad. So if you think about it, if it's about justice, the one who should be the majority of hellfire, it should be men, not women. Women usually, not always, they are the most kind, the most peaceful, not always. The most, let us say, most of women crimes cannot go and reach, usually, I'm talking about usually, the standard. Like if we go and see how many male in jail and how many female, we will find that the number of male are way, way higher. Especially to violent crimes. How many women we saw them, they are doing child molestation. Compare them to men, we will find there's no compare. So why the majority of people of hellfire, they will be women? And as long Allah is the one who fixed our destiny of adultery, and you know, adultery does not happen just by a male alone, right? So when Allah, He made a destiny for the man, obviously He made a destiny for the women too. Because the man, he will not have sex with himself. There's a woman, she called the Islamic scholar, asking about, she said that she is getting older. She became like 30 years old, and this is in the Middle East. This is old age. You know, if you are 30, you are at risk that nobody will marry you. They like to marry, you know, very young. So she said, I'm afraid that I'm not going to get married. He said to her, my daughter, my sister, don't worry. The Prophet, he says, it's written on every vagina the name of the one who will if her. Destiny. It's written there. Maybe now that woman, she took her phone, she started taking pictures of her vagina to see if the name of the guy who will if her is written there. Maktubun ala kullu farjin ismu nakihi. It's written on every vagina the name who will if it. And here we ask ourselves, if a woman, she is a prostitute, she will have yellow pages there. There is 2 eras of a human civilization and many years of God, BC, before Christ, and any 2 human civilization. I will explain that into quantum. I don't know what you are talking about, Grace, but anyway, focus with me on the topic, guys. Focus with me, especially if you are a female. So when they say what they say, lying to us about women in Islam, this is absolutely a lie. How many, okay, you are a female. Muhammad, he said, describe you, that you are the devil. You come as a devil, you live as a devil. Even Muhammad, he described that the most evil person